The Magic of Compound Recruiting, The Secrets of Building a Super Hierarchy by Hubert Humphrey. In this audio, we will review Chapter 5, Speed With, Recruit in Bunches, The Magic of Hiring in Waves, Go Wide Fast, 60 Wide in 6 months. Speed With, Recruit in Bunches. To say you're going to go wide isn't enough. How wide is also a consideration. When trying to build, how can you tell who will make it in this business? You can't. I certainly can't. And I've been building for 11 years. The people who are serious about winning studs, those who just give it lip service, duds, all look alike when you first talking to them. That's why you should look for a bunch of people. There is just no way of prejudging a person when you are trying to hire him. He may look good and sound excited about the business opportunity, but never amount to anything. When I used to coach midget league basketball, we would have 20 to 25 kids show up for our first practice. At the beginning of practice, most of the kids looked alike in terms of ability. But after putting them through drills, watching them run, dribble, pass, and shoot, I could determine who our best 5 to 8 players were. Some who looked like they would be great before we started turned out not to be the studs I thought they were, and vice versa. Since this business depends on a person's desire to and will to win, you just can't tell who your first string is until they've gone through a little practice. Hiring them in bunches will also help you avoid another pitfall: the tendency to wait because of 2 or 3 good people. You say to yourself, boy, I hired this guy and he looks good, sounds good, smells good. Man, he's everything. Then what happens? You don't hire anyone else because you tell yourself that you need to spend all your time with your new stud. You sit there and a week or 2 or 3 goes by and you should have been looking for more people. What happens when you wait? After a while, when you wake up out of the coma, you get mad. You get mad at yourself. You start getting frustrated in with your people, and don't treat them right. But you don't have a right to get mad at others. You can't make them do anything. Remember, even if you found Superman, you must be looking for more people. I call it the next mentality. Next? Who's got next? Think of it like a doctor's office. They bring you in, you take off your clothes, slip on your robe, then they make you cough. And while the doctor's attending you, the nurse runs out into the waiting room and yells, next. The magic of hiring in waves. You must develop a rhythm of hiring at least 3 to 12 people every 30 days and invest as much time as possible with the ambitious people, the people with the most desire to win. By hiring one good new fireball and helping him build in his market and even downline to the markets of his new people, you should build up a wave of 7 to 10 new prospects at the next big opportunity meeting night. Wave recruitment builds momentum. One Christmas, I asked my wife, Norma, to give me a wave machine, one of those glass objects with colored moving liquid. You turn it on and it rocks back and forth, and the liquid makes waves to the sound of an ocean. I keep it in my office to remind me that they should build momentum by hiring in waves. Go wide fast. Recruiting in waves is closely related to the speed of which you hire. Let's say, for example, that 2 people each have a goal of building outlets. The first person goes out and hires 1 man or woman every month for a year, 12 people. Sounds like a steady builder, right? The second person goes out and hires 12 people in 30 days. Who's going to get the most benefit from the effort put out to get 12 people. The guy who hired one a month for 12 months, or the guy who hired 12 in 30 days. The first person was a steady builder, but by the time the 12th person was in, 8 to 10 of the others may have died of boredom. They never got to see each other. Maybe they were never in the room at the same time. They were never at your base shop at the same time. They weren't on any leader bulletins at the same time. The second person, who hired 12 in 30 days, saw immediate results. More people were motivated to hang in there. They could rely on each other for moral and motivation. Even though the law of averages says you're always going to have a few who aren't really serious, aren't really committed, and are eventually going to fade away. These people contribute to synergy. That's why you want to recruit quickly. In every crowd, you're going to have some people who are nothing more than professional meeting attenders. That's okay. That's their right. They're certainly not bad for your business. They actually help. They help your winners to feel more a part of a team. How would you like to be on a basketball team with only 5 players? When you looked over there on the bench, there would be no one there screaming and cheering for you. People like to feel part of a team. 60 wide in 6 months. I have personally done this 4 times in my career. 4 times. I have gone out in a streak, building 60 people direct to me in a 6 month period. This is what allowed me to be where I am today. At one point, I had completely shut down my base shop. I realized that to maximize profits, I had to rebuild my base. Remember, those who build it wide first win. So after 3 years of shutting down my base, I went back out into the field and built 60 wide in 6 months. After that, I had 120 people reporting directly to me in my base shop. That effort took us into the 70 to 80,000 premiums a month range. I knew I could do it because that's exactly what I had done in 1979 to 81 in Denver. I had more than 10,000 people trained and reporting to me. When I came back to Georgia, I did the same thing with my Georgia-based shop. I built over 1,000 people in the first 6 months. During the 4 years, my base was monumentally big. It never got below 50 producers, meaning people who consistently did something and reported directly to me. If you go 60 wide in 6 months, you should expect to find at least 20 serious people who want to win. I use the chart on the next page as a target. If there were physically enough room on the page, each of those circles would be radiating out from a central circle, you. Each circle represents a person or a prospective new hire. The chart visually explains to a new person the 60 wide in 6 months plan. The person uses the sheet 2 ways. One is his planning stage, in which he takes a pencil and fills in the names of people he thinks are going to be the next 5 or 10 people. Then he actually gets them. He writes their names in ink. I ask the person to turn it in to me every month. If it's blank, I say, just hand it in. If it's got one name, fine. If it's the same name next month, fine. The point is to keep it in front of them. Give them something to shoot for, whether you are shooting for 30 wide in 6 months or 10 wide in 6 months. Always project a plan. You can't help but get big fast if you put out the kind of personal building effort. Put out that kind of personal building effort. Building principle. Treat your people with respect. They aren't numbers on your own success chart. They are real people who deserve to be treated with courtesy and respect. All great leaders add the human factor to all aspects of their business. This is the end of chapter 5, and these are the secrets of building a super hierarchy.